Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cynder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guests today are Judy Lugo and Detective Luke Vorster, and they are with the Police Activities League, otherwise known as PAL. Welcome, you two.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. What a great organization. And what a great partnership. I can hardly wait to hear all the ins and outs about that. So, Judy, where would you like to start telling us about PAL, especially for people who might not know? PAL, what is that?
Yes, PAL was founded in 1914 in the city of New York.
That's a long time ago.
Yes, it started very small when one of the detectives actually said that they needed to be a part of the community and work with the community in a way that they hadn't been working before. And that started with a simple, they called it play streets. So they would just take over a street and have fun with all the neighborhood kids. And that grew to the Police Activities League. So now there are hundreds of PALs all over the world.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
Yes.
I thought we were the only one in Santa Barbara.
We're the only unique, incredible one.
Of course. That goes without saying.
But yes, there's now a branch in the UK, Australia. There's one in Hawaii as well. So it's all over the nation as well as now worldwide.
And it started in Santa Barbara in 1999, right?
Correct. In 1999, Officer Kent Wojciechowski, he was just very similar to that detective in New York where he felt like we need a stronger connection and not just individual officers. It needs to be a full department support of being in the community and supporting the youth so that there was, it wasn't just we arrest you and take you to jail. It was all preventative work as well.
Yeah.
And that's how we got established.
That is great. So, Luke, maybe you could tell us a little bit about how the folks at the police department interact with PAL and how all that works.
Yeah. So, like Judy was saying, a big part of PAL and a part of what makes the program so great is it gives kids an opportunity to interact with law enforcement in a positive environment and to build positive relationships, which unfortunately there's not always a whole lot of opportunity for just in officers' day-to-day work. So that is invaluable. And it also gives, inversely, officers the opportunity to have these positive relationships and interactions with kids.
Right. So it goes both ways.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. So we benefit from it as much as the kids do.
That's cool.
But a big part of PAL's focus is mentorship. And that's one of the areas that the PD tries to step in and support. And these officers ideally become mentors and fill that role for a lot of these kids.
Wow.
Oftentimes, some kids may not have many positive role models in their home environment or whatever situation they come from. And so it's a great opportunity for some of our officers to step into that role and maybe provide that for some of the kids who don't necessarily have that at home.
So what age kids are usually involved?
Our group is 11 to 18.
Okay.
We run a teen center in downtown Santa Barbara, Chapala and Victoria, and that's where the bulk of our programming originates from. It's a free co-ed teen center and no membership, no registration fees. The youth just have to have a waiver signed and they can come in and receive whatever services that they need for that day. There's no commitment of coming daily. We are there when they need us.
So is a waiver signed by their parents? Or?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And we like to, for many, many years, we've been asked to open up the teen center for younger age groups. But there aren't many programs for primarily junior high as well.
Yeah.
And it's very important for us to support that demographic and help get them to whatever their next step may be. For a lot, they haven't really figured out what that can be because they haven't been given any of the mentorship or leadership or academic support. And if they're not failing on campus, then they're not being targeted for additional support. But if they're not excelling, they're also not being guided and supported as well. So
Yeah.
that's usually the youth that we receive at our facility.
So what hours are you open? Are you open every day, and what hours?
Monday through Friday,
Okay.
we're open right after school.
Oh, okay.
And we're open until 6:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
We have special events that'll happen on weekends, like our monthly fishing trips to Kachuma Lake, and we have a deep
Oh,
sea
wow.
fishing trip as well.
Oh, gosh.
And our officers are the ones that mentor the youth and teach them how to fish on those trips.
Oh, gosh. How cool is that? So do the officers go to the teen center as well?
Yes. So that's what's really exciting and unique about PAL is they're not always interacting with officers in uniform. It's also out of uniform. So the officers can come whichever day they can. And for a lot of them, for example, Luke, I sent him a message the other day because he's our youth council advisor. One particular student he was really struggling. He was just very low emotionally.
Oh,
And he has a strong connection with Luke. Luke had been working too many hours, newlywed. He's exhausted. And he went out of his way to get brownies, show up, hang out longer than he was supposed to. And we couldn't take the smile off his face. I hadn't
Oh my
seen a
gosh.
smile in a very long time.
really?
Yeah.
I love that story.
Typically, my bubbly personality is enough, but it wasn't working. So Luke coming, there's things like those that are just, we don't have the bandwidth to do that. And to be able to have a police officer that knows them by name, knows their background, knows what they need, and how to make them smile is incredible, because I also don't have to worry about, did I get the correct background check? Do I know if they're going to show up? I know they're going to show up because the chief of police is very involved as well. So
The chief of police is very involved as well.
no, but
Interesting.
honestly, we have an incredible group of officers
Yeah.
and other professional staff from the police department that are dedicated with or with not me holding that over their heads.
So it's a voluntary thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how did that feel when you went down there with those brownies and got a smile out of that guy?
No, I mean, I love being there and interacting with the kids. It's great. And the cool part is initially when you go, maybe when I started going and when most officers start going, it can feel awkward or intimidating because it's a bunch of junior high or high school kids who are not necessarily the easiest to get through their outer shell or break the ice with. But it's very rewarding to see with kind of the consistency and continuing to go and talk to the kids and continuing to show up to see how they recognize that and reciprocate that and to develop relationships with them and get to the point where you're friends with them and you know all of them and you show up and it's a bunch of familiar faces. So that's a great feeling and absolutely makes it worth it to me to invest all that time.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That is so great. What a great service that is.
Yeah. They really make you feel like you're the cool kid in school when they start asking for you, when they're excited to see you. They love to come and tell me that they saw one of the officers on the street.
Oh,
And they
I bet
waved
that
them
is.
down and they
Yeah.
said hello and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're cool."
Oh
So
my
it's
gosh.
it's a really good feeling, and it's not an easy thing to develop or do. It really isn't. So PAL has doors open to whomever wants to come, period. If they do not want to have a relationship with a police officer, we do not push that.
Okay.
And if an officer comes in uniform and they're uncomfortable, we always make it very clear there are other areas you can be, and they won't press or talk or push you into anything you're not comfortable doing.
Oh, good.
And that's where, when they're out of uniform, that mentorship is so important, because the student is seeing them now as just another person and human being, and it almost helps develop the relationship in a better format where they start to understand a little bit more of what the police officers go through, a little bit of their rules, and then they get to start asking those tough questions of, hey, I don't want to ask Luke in a full uniform, and I don't know this guy, and I don't trust police because of so many different factors, but out of uniform, Luke's a cool guy. I kind of like him. And when they find out that he's in law enforcement, but they've already developed a relationship and they go, Luke's cool, I can ask, why do these things happen? Why do you do X, Y, and Z? And Luke's able to have, and all of our officers are able to have those real conversations that help both sides understand the fear and the uncertainty.
Gosh, that is so important. I had no idea that was going on. Gosh. And so you have an interesting board makeup. I think the chief of police is involved somehow, and then he's got a person that stands in for
Yes,
him
our
when he
chief
can't make
really,
it?
really is very involved. She always makes time to not only come to PAL and our events
Oh, okay.
and meet our youth, but also goes out of her way to meet monthly with me so that she has general updates of everything that's going on and how the police department can help outside of the volunteer support from the officers. But she also comes to the board meetings and has a chief's advisor, Commander Katsapis, who is also one of the mentors. And that way, there's always this full-rounded support to ensure that we and our youth and our families are getting all that they need from the police department.
That is really smart to have that connection like that so close. So now PAL is a nonprofit 501c3, right?
Correct.
And so I bet a person could go on your website, and you probably have a donate now button,
We do.
and they could push that and make a tax deductible financial donation that would help you with your work.
Absolutely. And we're not looking for these big cash donations. Monthly giving goes very, very far
Monthly
for
giving,
us.
good idea.
Yeah, we have an Amazon wish list, and it's all of the supplies and items that we use for tutoring or for some of the activities or arts and crafts and so on. And monthly giving also really helps us because after school, we just finished a renovation and we have a full kitchen. So our youth have baking classes on Tuesdays.
gosh.
And we do meals every day because a lot of the youth will come right after school and they don't leave until 6:30 p.m. And we never really know if that's going to be the only nutritious meal that they'll have that day, or honestly, teenagers just eat a lot.
Yeah,
So-
isn't that the truth?
Having a kitchen with healthy meals that they're learning also to prepare is just, it's a whole nother level that we weren't at
Yeah.
less than a year ago. So helping us with food costs are huge, and we stretch every dollar.
I bet you
Really
do.
do.
Gosh, so is that kitchen then at the teen center, or is that, oh, boy, you got it all going on there.
We do. And see, the renovation was because of a mentorship relationship.
Oh.
So we have a young lady, Rebecca, who is a senior this year. She's graduating, and she came to us with her parents with this dream of becoming an architect in 7th grade. And we just happened to have a female architect as a volunteer. They met, they became inseparable, and she helped support and guide her from 7th grade until now as a mentor. And now she, I think a few years ago, they were just drawing some dreams of what they would do if they could renovate the teen center. And that inspired me to reach out to an incredible group called the Women's Fund.
Oh, yes, they are incredible.
They funded the project.
Oh my gosh.
So those
I bet
two,
you were over the moon
oh
when you
yeah.
heard that news.
And these two, Rebecca and Jesse, mentor and mentee, they did everything from the ground up. They helped develop, they did their focus groups with the youth. What do you want to see? What do we need? They picked the colors, they picked the flooring, they did all
Wow.
of it from start to finish. So it's incredible to see the power of mentorship, the power of
Yes.
just giving somebody a voice. And now she is going to Woodbury University on the fast track to become an architect within,
Oh my gosh.
she says she's going to be ready in 4 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is, so you want and need volunteers, is that,
Yes,
and people can figure out how to do that on your website.
absolutely.
And I know you collaborate with a lot of different organizations and schools, I would imagine.
Yes, we can't do it ourselves, and we don't want to do it ourselves. And it's very important that our youth that PAL is not the only thing available to them. So sometimes we may not be the right fit as well. So by working and knowing all of these different organizations, programs on campus and so on, we're able to work with the youth and go, I have an additional thing for you, or I know exactly where you're going to feel like this is my home. And they can always come by whenever they feel like it. And I actually just had a student come by from Bishop who just did a small internship, and she was so in love with the program. She wants to commit more,
Oh,
but
good.
she's an athlete
Mhm.
and she's constantly doing practice and so on and so forth. But she went out of her way to come by and say, hello, I miss this. What can I do whenever
Oh.
I can do it? So
Isn't that great?
that's really the power of PAL and the incredible people that we have.
And so, Luke, do you see the youngsters or the youth, maybe some of them wanting to go into police work as a result of that interaction?
Yeah, it depends. I think I've definitely spoken with some who are interested in it and attracted to law enforcement as a career option. And then others that's just not in the picture, and they have their other passions or
Yeah.
areas that they want to go into. So it is a mix. But
Yeah. Interesting. So we have a minute or so left. Is there any additional message you'd like our audience to know about PAL?
There's always something to know about PAL. So follow us on social media so you can see all of the different and incredible things that we do.
That's a good idea.
We have an amazing partnership with 12 agencies in Santa Barbara to provide full summer camp scholarships to families.
Okay.
So if your child is younger than 11 years old and you're looking for a summer camp, we receive full scholarships from Zoo, the
Oh, man, that's
Roxy,
cool.
Museum of Natural History. So we work as the hub. So that's part of that partnership and working with others that we're able to support families in different ways.
That's great. How about you, Luke?
yeah, I just think, I mean, it's an amazing organization. I'm really grateful for how it's allowed me to connect with the community in a different way than I typically get to do. So if you're not familiar with PAL, I would say definitely take some time to look them up on social media, spend some time on their website, and it's exciting to see what they're actively
Yeah.
doing in the community.
I bet when you first joined the police department, you had no idea you'd be doing this sort of thing.
No, I mean, it wasn't something I anticipated going in, but I'm grateful for the other officers who have gone before me and been super committed to PAL in the past and had good relationships with Judy, and were able to introduce me and take me to the teen center so I can meet the kids and get familiar with it early on, and then
Yeah.
develop my own relationship with PAL. And
Very good.
He's gotten to take a group of them to Washington, D.C. for a National PAL Youth Summit.
Oh, man. How cool is that?
yeah, very, very
Well,
cool.
both of
experience.
you, thank you so much for all this great work that you're doing in our community. And thanks for coming on the show to share it with our audience.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
And thanks for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.